as animals, we have the ability to survive, right? We have those natural instincts, fight or flight, And if it comes down to that, we'll just like we're like in a cage, right? Fucking fighting to the death, right? It's all based off instincts. You're only as good as your preparation, and you can kind of, through logic and reasoning of practice and preparation, or you're on your purpose, right, within your conscious mind, you can change and evolve your instincts to a more preferred state to help you complete that goal.
I got the sage burning up in the crib. Shawty wanna see how I live. First I gotta see you with a vibe like. You know that it come for good the whole night. Pain on a young nigga's mind.
You kind of touched on
Gotcha,
but
man.
it was
Fuck
like
yeah.
talking about instinct. Like that kind of passive force that drives you. Like when you're talking about animals, like being conscious and us being conscious, I thought about it and I'm like, those are two different types of consciousness. Because we are more evolved for being able to exist up here, not just in the instinct, which is like the entire most of the animal kingdom operates on instinct. There's
100%.
There's a select few animals.
Very little reasoning. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it's strange. It's mostly sea life. Like you get dolphins, whales, and fucking like orcas, which are all like porpoises, I guess. I'm not a marine biologist. Don't judge me on my terminology, but they have thought, but they don't have they still mostly operate on instinct, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But it's like, as humans, we're different because we don't operate solely on instinct, which to a degree can cause a lot of problems. Because instinct is there for a reason. It is us. It is there if you believe in the theory of evolution, which I have.
It's pretty much been proven as fact.
Yeah, but belief systems here and there.
Yeah, of course.
But
it makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, so we have been conditioned over hundreds of millions of years via evolution to think in these instinctual ways.
Yeah.
Like, as guys, going back to kind of the whole gender things, like, conversation. We are, genetically predisposed to want to be fuck machines. We hit a certain age and we're like, let me bust a nut in anything I can fucking see. Because the whole deal is like, it was like, let me spread my seed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, most likely back in caveman times, we didn't always ask for consent.
Yeah.
So,
we're
100%. Let me just...
There wasn't a lot of morals.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't.
In respect,
not the old Cretaceous period. There was not a lot.
Man.
You, hot chick. I like you. I'm going to fuck you. It happens. And then we leave and hunt far away.
It's kind of how animals operate, right? Like, immediately, like, that instinct comes up and they want to go and fulfill it.
Exactly.
That's their mission.
And it's weird, it's like there's the whole different rituals depending on different species, but it's like, it's the same instinct. That can cause both good and bad, but then again, there's two sides to every coin. However, as humans, we have been kind of brought up to deny that instinct. Now, I'm not saying, go and be a fucking chimp and fuck everything you can see. That's not good. We have systems in place to prevent this. Don't break people.
Yeah.
But, like, as far as animalistic instinct, for lack of a better term, is, I think, purpose for me. Mm-hmm. Is, I need to hunt. But what's the hunt? This process is the hunt. But for animals, it's like, I need food. Let me go kill something. Or if it's, I need food, let me find a nice patch of grass. Or, I need food, let me go swallow an entire colony of krill. It takes different forms, but it's like, they're living to survive. You kind of sometimes you gotta take a step back and be a little primal to kind of, ignore your mind and think more as an animal rather than, a person, for lack of a better term. You need to think with your instincts, not with your head. Because, yes. I think that's what it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's very, I've had a hard time distinguishing the two because it's hard to know if it's conditioned. Okay, well, a great deal of like I said, it's very fuzzy. It's very hard, because you can have a conditioned instinctual reaction to something, right? Like I was saying earlier with social media and the judgment thing.
Yeah.
Or like for me, like when I was hanging out with my friends like last week, like Dalton's friends and them, and they were playing like beer pong and stuff, and like intuitively, I was like, bro, this is just not my environment. Like I really don't want to be here, And like that's just like how I knew it was my intuition. It's like that natural gravitational force without words, right? Yeah. And that's just how it just comes up, and you just know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just know the vibes off or something like that. But with instinct, it comes up instinctively, right? Spontaneously, kind of like emotions, in a sense, but
it's somehow like deeper than emotion.
Yeah, it's been, sorry for spitting, it's been rooted within us, kind of as animals. You know what I mean? Mm. And as animals, we have the ability to survive, right? We have those natural instincts, fight or flight, And if it comes down to that, we'll just like we're like in a cage, right? Fucking fighting to the death, right? It's all based off instinct. You're only as good as your preparation, and you can kind of, through logic and reasoning of practice and preparation, or you're on your purpose, right, within your conscious mind, you can change and evolve your instincts to a more preferred state to help you complete that goal, right? Yeah. And so I think a lot of times we get caught up in, I don't even know what I was going with that. If you want.
Funks?
Yeah, funks. Yeah. But it's just interesting and weird how they all get intertwined and it like fucks up our reality at the same time.
Yeah. And I think, like, the whole deal is with that, it's like, a lot of misfortune is bred from thought, as we've said so many times before, because mindset is very big.
99% of suffering.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that whole deal is like, you kind of need to stop thinking as a human and start thinking like an animal sometimes. Yeah. Which is like, that sounds very fucking, alpha male macho, but it's more like...
it's more like being real with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's about being like, we are animals.
Yeah.
There is no fucking buts about it. We are organisms that exist on this planet. We are animals.
Yeah, we're equal with everything around us. Like, including
exactly.
animals, whether it be this fucking chair. Just like realize the neutrality and the isness of you in this moment, right? Like kind of what I love to touch on. It's, once again, morals, ethics aside, like everything is just it is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just neutral. Labels, fucking comparisons, judgments, standards, goals aside, it's just neutral, right? And that's what, to me at least, I see myself as equal and one with everything, right? And obviously people are like, oh yeah, Cal, you're one with this pillow. Yeah, to a certain extent I am, right? Because I'm neutral. I'm in this moment, everything is neutral, right? And I'm part of this planet physically. And, it's just a different form. It's obviously not conscious, at least I don't think it is. But once you
that's a different podcast episode.
Yeah. That shit's deep.
It turns out the chair is living.
New scientific discovery, ladies and
chairs can speak.
Can speak. But, this is what I wanted to touch on. So, like, through our logic and through our reasoning as human beings, we have the ability to master and control our intuitive forces, right? Our instinctual forces, I'll say. And when they come up, right? And we sometimes we can use logic and reasoning too much, right?
Yes.
And we become too rational, and we constantly think, oh, is this the best thing I should be doing right now? Is this the most productive thing I should be doing right now? And dude, don't get me wrong, it has its place. But Aristotle had his 6 types of souls, right? And so it ranged from someone who's completely mastered reasoning, right, to someone who is like an animal, right, and just has no rationale, everything is based off instinctual forces, right? And so when someone completely has that rationale mastered, they're not human anymore, because that they're almost godlike in a sense, right?
Yeah.
They completely left that animal part out of them, right? And same if you completely go animal, right? You lose that human being part of you, that rationale. And so it's kind of, in a sense, it's a balance of the instinctual forces with the rationale. Maybe like 60-40 or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just has to be a balance between the two. Know
Yeah.
when to use it. It's experimenting, and you got to be aware while you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because, like, a lot of people will try and push down that animalistic instinct, and it won't serve them well. People denying their animalistic instincts in favor of reasoning will sometimes serve them well. When sometimes you need to feel more than think. A lot of people, and if you think too much, you forget how to feel.
I got the sage burning up in the crib. Shawty wanna see how I live. First I gotta see what a vibe like. You know that it come fuck up the whole night. Pain on a young nigga's mind. Meditate all of the time. I don't wanna catch you in the blind.